Hey, beautiful people, and welcome to the last motherfucking episode of season 10 of the Good Up motherfucking podcast. It's Hot Girl Summer, bitches.
You choosing violence. You didn't have to remind them that it's the last episode. Like they already know. They already know. But if they they literally already know.
That's the energy I fucking on. Listen, I could be like,
Girl,
this other podcast I don't listen to the record year wrong. Good for them.
good for them. That's their full-time job, honey.
And since they record year wrong, you talking about a friend zone, right? Yep. I gonna go play the friend zone after this while
I
good up
love
down
the
a break.
friend zone. I love the friend zone. I
Shout
love
out
the
to Hey Friend
read.
E and Asante and my
I
baby
love Asante.
Dustin.
I met Dustin. Did I ever tell you about the time I met Dustin?
Love him.
So,
You know when it's his birthday, right?
is it the same day as yours?
It's April 9th.
Okay, because I'm like, I know he's an Aries.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Day
like
after.
breakfast food a lot?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't really like breakfast.
Okay, because I've been like taking notes on different like little quirks that the different zodiac signs have,
Mm-hmm.
but I noticed that Aries tend to like breakfast food.
I
Um,
I like to eat first thing in the morning, but I don't like
okay,
breakfast
it's
food.
not breakfast food, but you like to eat
Yeah.
early. Okay,
Yeah.
because I don't know if it's like a breakfast. Because like okay, even since Dylan was a baby, the one meal we never struggled to get him to eat was breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Because
And
I'm
then I
hungry as soon
remember.
as I wake up.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what it is because Dustin, one time years ago on the show, I remember him saying that he loves breakfast food. And it made me think about the fact that Dylan has never struggled to eat breakfast. So I'm like,
Yeah.
huh. So maybe it's just he associates the food with the
With
time
like
of
the time
day.
of day. Yeah.
Yeah. But I met him. So back when Kid Fury used to do those like live, those parties, like the 305 Live and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
I went to one of his parties. It was again my first summer in my new apartment. I had just moved to Jersey City. I took the ferry. I went over to New York so I could go to Kid Fury's party. And I was walking toward like to go to the entrance for the party. And I think Dustin had just come downstairs to go meet somebody outside to bring them up. And I
Yeah.
saw him and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to like harass him and be that person. But then I saw him at the party and for some reason we like kind of made eye contact with each other. And we're like, and I was like, hi. And I said, I saw you outside, but I didn't want to bother you. He's like, that was so nice of you. He's like, you look so beautiful. And then we
I
like
love
chatted a little
him.
bit and I left. And I feel like I also met Fran that did no, it was Crystal. Crystal was having the time of her life. But that party was
Yeah.
so fun.
I would love to meet them. I want to go to live shows. Like I listen, the
Yeah,
read
I've
and the friend zone, they
yeah,
don't keep me going, dog. Like
they keep me
I
going. I've been to a couple live read shows. The anniversary shows is usually what I go to because their anniversary show is usually around my birthday.
yeah.
So me and Diamond went together for our 29th birthday, which and it fell on the day of our birthday. So we were
Yeah.
just in heaven. And then they didn't have one the year of my 30th because of the pandemic. And then
Hmm.
for my 32nd birthday, I went by myself because they didn't do one
Yeah.
for like 2 years in a row, I think. But for my
Yeah.
32nd birthday, that was my birthday gift to myself. I bought the first ticket I could find and I went all by myself in
I
the
remember
blistering
that.
cold
I
for
love
it was
that.
their 10-year anniversary show too. And it was so fun. It was so good.
Yeah.
Like,
And speaking of
anyway,
live
yeah.
shows on June 8th, aka
Oh,
this Saturday, this fucking Saturday, not
this
next
fucking
week, not 2 weeks from now, bitch. This fucking Saturday. If you live in Atlanta and I don't see you at my event, be there or be fucking square hoe. Be square hoe. Get in your fucking car, drive to Zona Caribbean, hand somebody your little Eventbrite ticket, and come see me
yeah, we're gonna have a
and
good
Deidre
time.
and the whole family.
Yeah,
It's really me and Deidre.
the outfits, good up. The food, good
Exactly.
up. The venue, good up.
And Deidre about to
Like,
get her hair braided. Deidre gonna look fucking good. I don't think I
yeah,
understand.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just so unstoppable when I have braids. Like, it's just something about me and
You
braids. Like,
you
you
gonna make
can't,
me braid my hair?
I just,
No, this
did I
Saturday.
give that? Yeah, I gave that lady my deposit and everything, baby.
Stop playing in our face.
Stop playing around.
This
Ooh.
Saturday. This is the week. Season finale is today. Our live event is this Saturday. Then Hot Girl Summer Games started.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
and we're so excited. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. So like I don't have nothing else to say. If you ain't gonna be there, you missing out. You missing
Yeah,
out.
it just is what it is. I
So
hope y'all could make it though. But shout out to all the girlies who bought up the VIP booths. Shout out to the
mhm,
girlies. And listen, still buy your general admin tickets. Buy some tickets with your friends. Come early enough that you could choose good seats together.
mhm.
Come order your food. Enjoy the complimentary cocktails while supplies last. Come buy some merch. We're gonna have merch that's being debuted the day of the event.
Mhm,
So merch that we ain't even giving y'all sneak peeks of this merch. Y'all going
mhm.
and then the girlies who are at the event are gonna essentially have first look, first dibs. Y'all better hope it doesn't sell out
Mhm.
at the event because we probably ain't even gonna bring back this piece of merch. So I'm just saying.
Period. We don't talk. See you there Saturday.
Yeah, we've said what needs to be said.
I'm so
So
excited.
I'm excited
Um,
too.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be great. But we've made it. 15 weeks. This went by so fast.
It did go by
Um, it
fast.
really went by fast, but honestly, I think it went by fast because the last couple of months for both of us have been a fucking blur in our personal lives. Um, yeah.
Girl, who the fuck you telling?
How are you? Know what's crazy? I committed myself to when people ask me if, how are you? How have you been? I used to just be like, good. Now I gotta tell
You're
them the truth.
honest.
Don't ask
I
if you don't
noticed
want to
people
hear,
are,
don't
yeah,
ask me.
I've noticed that there are people who are doing that more, and I actually commended one of the people who works where I work. She's very I I don't worry about she because she never seems happy. Like she has a
Yeah.
lot to be mad about. So I give her grace because she has a lot stacked against her that I will never
Mm,
be able to understand. This is a trans woman, I might add.
mm,
And so she has stuff stacked against her that I'll never be able to relate to or understand. But sometimes I'll check in with her, like I'll be like, hey, such and such, how you doing? And she's like, not great, but okay. And it's like, okay, like what am I
So
supposed to?
yeah, I try not to be like a Debbie Downer, but when I tired and somebody said, "How are you?" I'll be like, "Oh, good." No, I'm exhausted, girl. How are you? Like
Yeah.
everything's on
Yeah.
fire, girl. How are you?
How are
Like
you? Yeah. One thing about it, Miss Mamas don't hesitate to be like, oh, girl,
yeah.
actually, I hate it here. And I'm like, well, she doesn't say that specifically, but I've never seen her. I don't know if she's ever seen She as well. She'll be like, I'm trying to remember the last time I checked in with her and because I worked from home the last couple days,
Yeah.
but the last time I was there, I vividly remember being like, hey, such and such, how are you today? And she's like, oh, hanging on. And
She's
she
like,
didn't even
girl,
sound, she's like, no,
universe is on fire. We here.
she said getting by. She goes, oh, getting by. And I was like, felt.
At
Because
least she honest.
what am I
At
supposed to
least
say
she
that?
honest.
Yeah,
Listen.
I like that she's honest. I mean, I don't pray for people, but I do say a little like
Yeah.
something like,
Like
I hope
send
she
good
has a better
energy her
day.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't even project that onto her. I'm like, hey, I hope she finds a 20, or
Yeah.
I hope something makes her day better.
Yeah.
Anytime I check in with her and she does that, I just be like, I hope she have a better day. Like
Yeah, man. I've been
it's
telling
rough out
myself
here.
be a little honest. Also I've also been trying to find the good in every day, even if it's a rough day. Like Ayo,
Yes.
last episode you hear me literally cracking up because I made a death pun right after talking about the fact that my uncle had died.
You ain't shit.
Um but the day he died, right? I was a mess. I was a fucking mess. I was boohoo
Mhm.
crying, right? But then my glueless coming, that's it. So I tell myself, well, I can't sit here, like I can't cry anymore. I have to like, because I have feel really his death was actually like the circumstances of his death were really sad and it made me sad. But I was like, hey, Isa, you cannot keep like I had a meeting that night that he died that I knew I couldn't get out of because it was me running the meeting. And I was like, if you keep crying,
Mm.
you're gonna look crazy. And I didn't know what to do with my hair. I was like, okay, well, let me style this glueless. Let's give yourself something to do. Put on a glueless, style it, it's curly, you wet it, all that shit, style it, right? So then I went on my little like Marco Polo group chat with my sorority sisters and I come on, right? Eyes puffy, eyes red. I said, did my uncle die today? Yes. Is this glueless fucking phenomenal? Also, yes,
Also,
right?
yes, because it is.
My sorority sister was like, bitch, I don't know if I want to fucking laugh or send you my condolences. She was like, why the fuck would you say? I was like,
The
because two
the
things could be true
millennial
at once.
No, the millennial urge to turn our trauma into a joke
Every
is like, it
time.
needs to be studied
Every
because like,
time.
why do we do this? Like,
It gonna be me every time. The day at my grandmother's funeral, who bust out laughing in the car? Me. It's always me because I don't think I know how to cope with being just like that
yeah,
sad. So I don't have
yeah,
to find something to laugh about. So
damn.
I would just like, he would have found this iconic. I don't know. Like he would have
He probably
approved
would have.
of
He would have
listening to
been
this.
really living for that wig, low
He'd have been
key.
like this hair girl. Like he that
Mm-hmm.
was that yeah. So the glueless were phenomenal.
Shout out to the
But anyway,
Glueless.
shout out to the glueless. I've been talking about this glueless forever because I so mind blown by it.
Girl,
But
I'm so impressed by this motherfucking Glueless. Like, that is crazy work.
listen, but all of that to say, you gotta find the good and the bad. Like, yeah, you might be having a rough day, but what if you look in the mirror and be like, damn, my ass fat? Like, hold on to that.
Oh,
Hold
I'd have
on
loved
to your
those
ass being
moments.
fat,
I'd
dog.
have those moments too. Like, I'd be
Yeah,
like, okay, girl, like, you
yeah,
may be having a rough day, but girl, you fine as hell.
yeah. But you know
Like,
who teach me that? Ludens. Shout out to
period,
I can talk
Ludens.
about Ludens every fucking episode.
Speaking of Ludens, I don't know if y'all know, but Ludens filed for divorce and I signed the papers because Ludens been posting all these thirst traps. Actually, why am I calling it divorce? He called off the engagement because he insists on posting thirst traps on the internet. So he clearly does not want to be married. So I just thought y'all should know. We
I ain't
ending the
gonna make up
season
by Saturday anyway
with
because he
news.
coming to the
No,
event. I don't want to hear this.
no,
I
I
don't want to hear
don't.
this.
One thing about me, I don't spin the block. Ludens called off the engagement with all those fuck ass thirst
All
traps.
Ludens gonna do is smile at you one time and be like, hi, Deidre. And Deidre gonna be like,
I
hey,
gonna make sure
Ludens.
my toenails ain't polished for the event.
Anyway, oh my God.
I
Ludens
gonna wear shoes that'll show my
handle,
surgery scar so he could send my feet ugly and leave me alone because
Ludens, handle your business, please. Um, so no, but he taught me that concept of like you got find the good and hold on to it because like Ludens sometimes he'll be dealing with a lot, right? But when Saturday come around and Ludens get his haircut, you can't talk to that man.
period.
You can't
I
talk to
love
that
that.
man. He'll come on the internet and be like, you need to hold on to your washi name cause I on the streets today. Like
You know, back to astrology because people expect that kind of behavior from Leos, but it's actually Geminis who get
it's
down like
definitely
that. Because my
Geminis.
mother is a Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about that lady, she has never been shy about loving her looks or
Yeah.
anything like that. Like, she will wake you up out of your sleep to be like, you see me? I look
Yeah.
so good. Y'all
Yeah.
think it's the Leos, it's the Geminis.
Ludens will send me a video. I'd be like, let me guess, it's Saturday. He'll be like, what you mean? Like, you know what day it is. I'll just be like, okay, Papa, sorry. But he's that reminder of like, yeah, shit might be hard sometimes, but don't ever fail to like gas yourself or find the good or
Yeah.
laugh about something. Like, just life
Mhm.
fucking jokey, man. Just laugh. Like,
No,
laugh.
life is a literal joke.
It's a gag. Like,
A literal joke.
so with that being said,
Whew.
let's shout out some people spotted being good up for the final time this season. I have loved this segment so much this
Me
season.
too.
We've been really giving people their flowers. My person spotted being good up is Deidre. Can I say her full government name? Not me, gonna say her full government name. Deidre motherfucking Ritter is my person spotted being good up because
Why?
this event that's happening on Saturday, again, this is Deidre's brainchild. This is her baby, but also Deidre believes in this podcast in a way that sometimes I don't even believe in it. And me gonna say that to sound bad, like I don't believe in good up, but Deidre has always had the big dreams and the big goals for this podcast that it inspires me so much because I don't keep thinking if this was me doing this by myself, good up would have already been done with. I would have convinced myself that it was not worth continuing. And because Deidre has such enthusiasm and love and belief in this show, every season I don't come back and be like, what if we do this? Because this is just the attitude you to bring to the show. Like, we are at the next level because you have taken this show to the next level. So I just want to say, as a sister, as a friend, as a co-host, you are that bitch. You been that bitch. You better tell Ludens to stop playing your fucking face. Pose good up, hair good up, body good up, brain good up. And if any of you got a problem with my fucking friend / co-host / sister, fight me.
I wish you had do this. I'm glad you're doing this now and not at the event.
I gonna probably do it to the event too. So
Don't do it at the event. I cannot have my makeup running. Oh wow. Oh girl.
but just know I love and appreciate you, and we 10
Girl.
seasons in, and if it wasn't for you,
This
I
is
would
our
have been,
baby. This show is our
done with this
baby. And I love doing it. I'm proud of it for obviously for like what we've been able to do with it, but just even on a personal level, this is probably, aside from astrology, one of the most consistent projects that I've been a part of. Like, like sometimes I don't wonder if I'm doing too much, if I'm not doing enough. Sometimes I feel like I don't commit to nothing, like I all over the place, but it's like I've been showing up for this podcast.
Yeah. In a big
through
way.
everything in a big way. And I
Yeah.
just love this podcast. It's brought so much to my life, so much. I just love having something to look forward to.
Yeah.
This podcast is it's my thing to look forward to. Today was, and it's funny, like this is like a day like today is the day you're saying this, because like today was a kind of rough day at work. But, and mind you, y'all, I came straight home from work to record this podcast. And I wasn't even mad about it. Like I wasn't like, oh, now I gotta go home and record. I was like, I gotta fucking go. Like, you need to, I'm gonna do this for y'all. I got things to do, because I'm like, I'm looking forward to coming to do. This is what I love. This is my baby. I love this podcast almost as much as I love Dylan. Like for me, I'm like, I need to go home to take care of my child and record my show. I didn't say it to my coworkers because I really don't want them following the podcast. But regardless.
Yeah, I was like, I have a meeting.
Yeah, I was like, I have something really important to do that's prearranged. Like I have a call. But
I have an appointment on my calendar. Can I just
I gotta go.
I gotta go. But no, I just want you to know how much I appreciate you. If there's ever a moment where you're like, oh my God, am I you doing the exact right thing? You are wanted and appreciated. And again, ain't gonna be no fucking good up while the two of us here. So someday, maybe, who knows, we might add another person just to shake shit up, but we ain't subtracting.
Cool. No, you know what, period. Y'all heard it. We ain't subtracting shit, little bitch.
Destiny's Child kept going because Beyonce and Kelly was there. So ain't gonna be no fucking LaToya. Destiny's Child is forever.
Remember that third co-host we almost had?
I am happy to report to you personally. Everybody else don't know the context, but he's doing great.
That's good to know.
He's doing great. And I think that was a part of him being able to, So we still
shout
cool.
Out to you. I hope you listen to the show, because if you do, shout out to you. Oh my God.
I think it just wasn't meant to be. And I love that person, but it was meant to be us. And I don't keep thinking like, is it time for a third good up co? I don't know.
No,
maybe.
Absolutely not. No, this is art. No. We will keep bringing y'all on as guests. Okay, this is me and Heiza forever.
No, I know. I'm not against it, but I, just to
absolutely
try to razzle dazzle on it.
We could probably I'm good.
Do a rotation like the real, whatever that show was. But no,
that's the one with Tamar Braxton.
Yeah,
girl, I never watched that show after they fired Tamar.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I laugh when I say it. I was like, no, not really.
The way she said, yeah, exactly. Yes. Like Tamar Braxton was a lot of things, but that show was not shit without her. Like Tamar Braxton made that show, like hands down, point blank period.
Definitely did. But yeah, I wanted to give you your flowers. I always want to give you your flowers, but today felt like a fitting time to just, remind you that I use that bitch. So that's my person spot being good up. Is
you, girl.
Deidre.
Thank you.
All right.
My person being good up, I don't know this person's name, but for the wife of my regular customer who happened to be from St. Thomas, use my person being good up. I was telling Heiza recently that the location that I'm training at has a regular customer who happens to be from St. Thomas, and I was so geeked out and stoked to have met him. And one day he was in the store and he was on the phone with his wife, and me and she were talking, and it was just so good because we'd have used our accents. Like when I tell you, when this man would come in, we'd have used our full-blown accents, okay? And my coworkers would be looking at me like, who is this woman? Baby, I's a fucking cruise. And we were cracking joke and running bem about the fact that Tomians the hardly come to St. Croix for festival, but you don't see a heap of Crucians in St. Thomas for carnival. So we were cracking that joke. He's like, no man, I used to go carnival when I used to go festival when I was younger. So it was just really nice. But my person being good up is his wife, because she's all the way in St. Thomas and she tracked me down on Facebook and she followed me and she was complimenting my friggin' blonde hair from like 3 years ago. I was like, damn, girl. And she was like, oh, she had a good up podcast. So I don't remember your name, but shout out to you, girl. Use my pause and being
And
good
thanks
up.
for listening.
Thank you for
Shout
listening.
out to
Thank you for checking us out. I hope you can make it to a live event one of these days, because
Exactly.
this one is our first, but I think it's our first of many. I'm confident
Yeah.
that this is our first of many live
Yeah.
events.
We'll definitely be doing another one. We'll talk about that maybe next season where that's gonna happen. Very excited about that one.
Mm-hmm.
So the hills that we're dying on for the final time. What last hill you going out on? Mine gonna piss somebody off. I really don't care, but mine gonna piss somebody off. So
In the spirit of being my normal self, who clearly, no man, I'm trying really hard not to come off as somebody who just despises men, but my hill that I'm dying on is that pregnant women, their only focus should be gestating their baby. Yeah, I really
agree.
hate that we live in a world where women who are literally building human beings have to show up to work
Or do chores.
or do chores or anything or give their full selves when they're not their full selves.
Mm-hmm.
A good chunk of them is gone because that chunk of them that's missing is literally building a human being.
Yeah.
I hate that pregnant women are expected to show up at their regular capacity when their capacity doesn't exist and never will the way it did.
Yep.
Once you have a child, your life and your body changes forever. Your body is not going back to the way it used to be, nor is your brain function. It's going to be altered and it's going to exist in a way that has never existed before because you are mutating and you are creating a literal human being. So I just resent that pregnant women don't get to just nurture themselves while they create life. They have to show up to work and it just kind of breaks my heart. So that's the hill I'm dying on. And it's part of why I actually refuse to have more children. Because I was fortunate enough, maybe like 6 months into my pregnancy, I ended up like leaving my job and just taking the rest of my pregnancy off. But I hated that I went back to work as early as I did. Regardless, there's people who are not able to make anything like that happen, and people who are actively showing up to work up until the day they deliver. Some people go in labor at work, and that's crazy to me. So that's the hill that I'm dying on.
I support that hill. And I would go as far as to say that after a woman has a child, at least for that first year, she deserves for her family to be revolving around her, doing chores, cleaning, all of that shit until her body fully recovers. Because I think people like to say, oh, well, that first month, that first 2 months or whatever. No, like women don't fully recover for a long time. Like,
it's a very long time physically on average, because even if you feel fine, your body is still trying to readjust. Your organs are still trying to find their way back to where they belong. God forbid if you have a C-section, you have two openings to heal. Like because they cut you open and then they cut your uterus open to take that baby out. So that's two different incisions that need healing. So it takes months for a woman to recover from literally creating life. And I'm with Hey Isaac. And then especially if that woman is like breastfeeding, okay, now your body again is doing something that it's never done before. Or even if you have had children before, your body, you're keeping yourself and this extra person alive. Like I feel like Hey Isaac said, that first year should really be just dedicated to that mom just growing this baby, like I just, oh God. And I don't want to hear no fuck shit. I don't want none of y'all incel ass bitches coming to me talking about some feminism. Fuck you.
Yeah, shut your ass up.
Yeah, shut up. Because feminism ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah. I don't want to hear it. Have some fucking respect. Please.
Especially in our, let me tell you something. You know who to piss me off? When I see a black person be like, look at what feminism did. Y'all are complaining. Black women never stayed at home. We never had that luxury. So when it's like, when I hear, because that happens a lot, well, we'll get the incels who are like, you guys could have been stay-at-home wives, but you guys decided to be feminists or whatever the case is. And when I see black people participate in that conversation, I get particularly irritated because there was never a time in history when black women were housewives or stay-at-home moms. That never existed for black
They
women.
deserve it shit more than anybody else.
If anybody deserves it, it's black women. Like, so I just laugh when I see our people partaking in conversations that really got nothing to do with us. But all that to say, women who are carrying babies, that should be their focus when they're doing that.
They deserve it all. All right. I like that hill. I'd always be on your hills. I appreciate it.
Girl, we be at each other's hills.
Yeah. I don't think there's been a hill yet where I'm like, nah, I mean, coming up there. Like, no, I don't just be like, I come in, no, I
come in. See, this is why we can't bring a third co-host, because it's gonna be somebody who gonna try to
we gonna be like, girl, fuck your hill.
The fucking valley.
Motherfucker, get the fuck off the show. The way we gonna tag team I thought, no, you're right. We would tag team a third host.
I feel like we would them. The third host would be bitching and crying and doing interviews talking about some. I just felt so excluded.
We're gonna be like, yeah, because we's gang. I don't know what you mean.
What the fuck do you mean we never really need a show? We are really in our mean girl bag. We need to hurry up and wrap up.
We've been wilding this episode and last week. The hill that I dying on, and I go wild even more. I have been the entire time that this podcast has existed, and Deidre, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if you're coming on this hill with me. The entire time that this podcast has existed, I've tried to stay open to when people reach out to the show and say, hey, I want to be on the podcast. There have been maybe 2 incidents in the entire existence of the podcast where somebody reached out to us first. They came on the show and it worked out. It really did work out. One of those was long time ago. We do a marriage episode and we had like a marriage therapist come on the show.
I liked having her on.
So she works with like a PR firm, and her PR firm is who reached out to us to get she on the show.
Wow. Right? Okay.
So there have been maybe 2 incidents like that, and I gave it a chance and it worked out. But I have come to accept that my preference would be to do as we currently do, which is we curate our season and our episodes, and we research which guest would be the best fit for the episode, just based on the vibe we going for, based on the topic we're going to talk about, based on whoever the fuck we feel like having on the show. With that being said, I might just come out and tell Aya to stop emailing me to ask me to be on the show, right? I might just straight up stop taking requests. But that's not really the hill I dying on, right? I gonna think about that for a little longer, and then we're gonna decide what's our policy on that. But if you are going to email the show,
oh my gosh,
the least you can motherfucking do is listen to the goddamn podcast, bitch.
Wait, hold up. What's going on? Wait, what?
And this isn't one particular incident. It happened again recently, but this isn't one particular incident. The least you could do is listen to the show, because when you email us and say, I want you to interview my da-da-da-da-da, I want you to interview such and we have never.
We don't
even when Tehran, Grammy award-winning songwriter, Virgin Islands in this Mudasc, even when Tehran come on this show.
It wasn't really an interview.
It was not an interview. He was a part of the episode.
Yeah,
and we had a good time. We had a good time.
It was a conversation, and even when we did ask certain questions, it was relevant to like the topic. We were playing like a game, like what?
So I don't give a fuck how mean girl this sounds. The minute you don't message me or message the page and say I want you to, first of all, good afternoon.
You know, initially that's what I thought that was. I thought you were initially coming in to say like have some fucking manners, but I did not know it was going to be.
First of all, good afternoon. Me sleep with you last night. I don't know what your penis look like to suck it. Have some goddamn manners. Sorry.
Wow.
It's layered. On
Yeah.
one end, I know that you are not listening to the show because you
Yeah.
don't understand the show structure. People who are familiar with a podcast, they anybody who listens to our episode will be like, oh, that's not the vibe they have.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get maybe making an assumption, but at least you could do is do your research about the platform you're reaching out to. That's one.
Yeah.
Two, even if you gonna reach out with an assumption, you didn't do your research, the least you could do is say good afternoon and not message our social media page. Don't tell me what to do. Do not tell me what to do. You should interview such and such. What is your name, sir? Who are you? And why is it always a man?
Because what's one thing they all got? Audacity.
The fucking audacity. So it frustrates me because one, that's not how we operate. Two, you don't know me like that. Three, don't tell me what to do. Four, it always feels, and you know what, I can just come out and say, especially in the Virgin Islands and in my experience with this podcast, it feels like a lot of men, not all of them, because there are men who really authentically interact with our show. Me talking to you. You know me talking to you. A lot of the men who have interacted with our show page, they'll come to tell us what to do and to try to platform themselves. They don't share our content. They don't support it. They don't say, hey, are you doing a dope job? It's always, hey, share my this, not man. Hey, you could retweet my song. You could put my boy on the show. You could kiss my ass, bitch. Like, get off my fucking... Sorry. It don't get me. And you know what? I say that all to say, don't message the page no more, because the next message that you gonna get when you say, hey, you should interview my artist, is me saying you should suck my dick. And truthfully, I gonna let Tehran speak the rest.
Hey boy, I don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
You love that picture, huh?
Yeah, it's I wish I had discovered it earlier in the season.
No, it's well. See, guess what? Season 11 about to be lit.
One thing about 11 about to be wilding.
Further proof that our podcast continues to be elevated, continues to improve. We're continuously adding things to it. It's always improving, never declining, because now we're gonna have them little fun sound bites.
And like, I don't. The thing is, I've always been afraid of going on this rant because I don't want to seem too self-important and this and that. But truthfully, Tehran Thomas is a big inspiration for me in that level of like, my boy, I don't give a fuck. I gonna say what I need to say.
Yeah.
You would not go to any other bigger platform show and message them so casually and be like, you need to do this. I don't need to do fucking shit. Because Good Up start from nothing. We had about 5 listeners.
Me being one of them.
Deidre being one of them. To where we are now, and we got that way through people authentically supporting us without us having to do anything in return.
Honestly,
so if people come into us wanting to contribute to our show, wanting to see our show grow, and we don't have to do nothing for them, what gives you the right to pull out your fucking Nokia and send me that audacious ass message, bitch? How dare you?
Not the Nokia, not too much on them Nokias, because I used to have that little cute one that was a rectangle.
All I saying is stand up from the mattress on the floor and go outside and touch some fucking grass.
Well, there's also that. I like that hill.
Yeah,
like that.
sorry.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it. I'm so sorry. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for loving us. But
shout out to our sponsors.
You know who I was when you signed the contract.
It's very true. Very, very true.
That's the hill I dying on this week. Research. Listen to 30+ seconds of the show before you message me telling me about what you want from the show.
Yeah, that's kind of why. That's kind of why. And you guys already know. And if you didn't know, now you know. Hey, Izetta really she does the heavy lifting when it comes to social media. I don't really talk shit. So whatever Hey Isa says, I'm gonna agree with.
And if a guest is on this show, it's because we want them here.
Facts, because they're qualified for the discussion. They're gonna bring something to the discussion, and they don't just want someplace to promote their new EP or whatever.
Somebody listen to this somebody listening who's a rapper, and they're just like, God damn. And Papa, and that's the thing. You can't even say we don't support home, artists from back home either, because we've had them on the show. But also our whole first 3 seasons, his music was the intro music to Good Up. Like, don't And he didn't even ask for that. We reached out to he and I was like, hey, can I use your music for this? And he was like, yeah, hell yeah. No obligation to do anything.
Well, let me come on a show and explain my concept.
But I need to interview your artist.
I don't even know who sent that message because
I don't need to do nothing but stay half black and die.
She said half black. Hey, sir. Oh, girl.
The minute I say it, I feel like one of my ancestors was like, why the fuck are you like this?
No, you so specific and it's crazy. No, I am here like
I can't say stay black and die because some it'll be on Twitter like, you ain't even got 4 black grandparents.
Oh.
I don't even know what my grandparents are, dog.
Not the biologists.
Ain't my fault. No, that's a big conversation on Twitter. That should be funny.
Damn.
I'd be like, damn, I can't play this game. But I respect my position. Just like the people who I talk about need to respect their position. I recognize who I am.
Yeah, we need more self-awareness from the biracials.
Please. Can we add that as a sub hill?
Yes.
I never knew what side I fit in. I'm half black and half white, and the black people think I'm too white, and the white people think I'm too black. And I was bullied because of my hair and because I like rock music, and I'm not ghetto, so I'm not a stereotypical black girl. Shut the fuck up.
And then you know what'll kill me is I feel like sometimes like mixed race people they'll be the most anti-black.
Like shut your ass up.
If anybody gonna call blackness ghetto, it's a mixed race person.
Yeah, that's the first thing. I don't act like a stereotypical black, but what is a stereotypical black person? Tell the class. Tell the class. Since you get your degree and you know every fucking thing.
It's always those biracials like actually I'm not supposed to say that, huh? Regardless, it's always a mixed race person.
Biracials?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not a slur. You biracial?
Oh, I could never tell. I don't know what's a slur these days and what's not. Everything feel like a slur.
I want biracial people to recognize that when you feel like you don't fit in somewhere, it's because you don't allow yourself to fit in. Because you want everybody to stop their conversation and look at you and be like, how does it feel to be in the middle? Like,
that's what it is. That's what they want. They want us to stop everything and just be like, oh, a biracial has entered the building. We must find out what they do in their natural habitat.
Like, I don't know where I belong. You belong in the best of both fucking worlds.
I don't know why it be so much.
We need to add an episode to the roster next season called Biracials Be Tripping. I don't know. Like, y'all embarrass me sometimes. And then I don't try to just exist and people will be like, use one of them mixed girls. I'll be like, dog,
we should name it Biracial Woes.
Biracial Woes. Like, just if you just stand there and be quiet, nobody gonna notice. Nobody gonna notice.
Aubrey.
Baby, I'll just see. Okay.
No, that song has been living rent free in my head.
They not like us. That's my shit.
You know, confession, I haven't listened to any of the songs from this saga.
I can just listen. It's a little bop. It's a little bop. Okay. Those are the hills that we're dying on.
Yes.
So this week, even though we've been dragging people for the last like probably 25 minutes, this week's episode, we wanted to talk about making mistakes, the concept of regret and dealing with regret, right? We talk about healing a lot. We like, you ain't no stranger to this podcast, but something that has come up in my healing journey has been that I have to forgive myself for a lot as I go through the process of healing. And some of the forgiveness is not necessarily like, I don't know, shit that I've done, like shit that I've done wrong. And I think sometimes when people get into healing journeys, they kind of make themselves like martyrs and they focus a lot on what has been done to them. And a lot of people don't seem ready to like, nobody don't ever want to talk about their fuck ups or areas where they have regrets or areas where they might have done somebody wrong. So I just ain't really, super structured, but I kind of wanted to talk about that. Like,
I like it.
Can you remember like what you think is probably the biggest mistake you ever made? Like, or just a big mistake that you've made, and like, have you forgiven yourself for that? Or like, did you feel regret? What was that like?
Okay, so I don't know that I could say like the biggest mistake, but when I think of all my like smaller mistakes, the one thing they all have in common is that I didn't trust my intuition. And so that would have to be like my biggest mistake in general. It's just like not trusting my gut when something don't seem right, and then going in that direction only to find out I should have never gone down this path, if that makes sense. You know, whether it be me ignoring like red flags or even just me like not taking certain steps, regardless, it always was like me not trusting my intuition. Um I'll be honest, I don't really have regrets because for me, at least my thinking is like, even if I did do something that I'm not proud of, regretting it is not going to change the fact that it happened. So to me, that's a waste of energy because then I end up in this place where I'm constantly like mad at myself and I'm thinking about it and it just feels kind of like a waste of energy. So I don't really have regrets except for that one ex that I've been dragging for the last couple of seasons. I regret. Listen, I've never regretted meeting
Ooh.
anyone, but I told his ass that too, and I cussed he like a dog in the last. That's my only true regret. But other than that, nah. How about you?
I don't deal with regret a lot.
Yeah.
Not I and I don't even know if it's regret or shame or embarrassment. Like I gonna be honest. This is probably the most transparent I gonna ever be on this fucking show because I try not to operate in shame anymore. Also, none of you gonna beat my ass.
That
So
part.
it is embarrassing, but I'm gonna just share it. My biggest regret or like my biggest fuck up, I think, is that when I was younger, I disliked myself so much that I used to lie about stuff, like my life.
Hmm.
And I used to embellish my life a lot, especially as it related to like my dating life. And
Hmm.
keep in mind, I was a teenager, right? Like my therapist would be like, okay, but you was in junior high. I'm like, yeah, but other people won't do that shit. Like that was kind of lame of me. You gotta admit it. And my therapist is like, okay, but you were a teenager. Like she don't be
Yeah,
giving me
I
grace.
thought
I'd be like,
no.
Leslie.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm with Leslie. When you first said it, I thought you were talking about like college and early 20s. I was about to be
No.
like,
No.
but
I
middle
think
school, girl, that's what. Hmm.
by the time I was in like my junior year, maybe sophomore year of high school, I was
Hmm.
like, okay, this is lame. I need to not do
Hmm.
this anymore.
Girl, you were a literal child.
I
Stop
was a
it.
child, but I'm also like sometimes I don't think about it. I don't cringe. I don't physically be like, oh God, I can't believe you do that. Like embarrassing, right? But
Hmm.
I think now that I'm older and I obviously processing trauma and a lot of shit, I realize that a lot of the lies I used to tell was to try to present myself as like more attractive than I
Mm.
felt,
Yeah.
more enticing to like I would tell people like, oh yeah, I do have a boyfriend. Like, and if they used to ask me about a boyfriend on the spot, I would like, yeah, and I could answer the questions or whatever. Like,
Damn,
because I
that's kind of
wasn't
wild. But like, but you
because
were
I
also
was
in middle school.
embarrassed.
Like, I expect that from somebody in middle school.
It
I thought
was
that was common for kids in middle school.
I don't listen. It went to me. There were times where it went a little too far, and I was like, "Hey,
Oh.
Isa, like I don't think about it and just want like shake her, like young self, just be like, why?" But it was because like I felt like my friends. There was a situation where I was in a friend circle and two of my friends were dating each other, and I felt like if I wasn't also dating someone, I would just be this like Todd Wheel who always hanging with these
Mm.
two other people. So I like made up this person that I was dating who like, listen, when I tell you I was in therapy, like Leslie, no, drag me, please. Like drag. She was like, it's okay. I'm like, no,
Because
no.
and then it goes back to, okay, guess what? You're ashamed of this thing you did. It's not going to change the fact that you did it.
Yeah,
So you
it's
might as
not.
well just let that shit go.
Which is
Like
why
it
I'm
doesn't have.
like, me and trying to operate in shame no more. Like,
Yeah, shame is the lowest vibration.
but I think I'm not even thinking about those isolated incidents. I think my biggest fuck up in life, which partially not my control, was ever thinking that there was something wrong enough in me to where I needed to fabricate things like that, right?
Yes.
Where I needed to constantly change myself, where like
Yeah.
me accepting myself and who I am and being fully okay in that is something that I discovered in adulthood, but high school to like oh my God, yo,
Yeah.
I really dislike myself. So
Oof.
yeah, I think I fucked up in a way because like I wish I could go back and give myself a chance to just like chill, just like be
Yeah.
myself. I think I'm gonna just throw in another fuck up that I would think about. I don't talk about he a lot on this podcast, but I will say something I consider a fuck up on my part is ever being responsible for another woman's pain, knowing that I was responsible in certain occasions and being complicit in it.
Okay.
If I could go back, like I have regret
Yeah.
about the fact that I know that if I could be in a situation with the wisdom that I have now, I would have been like, so you playing around in this person's face, just to, like I wouldn't feel special about it. I would feel
Okay.
the way I should feel, which is disgusted. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I used to see it as like, oh well, he can't resist me, and it's like, no, bitch, he's
Yeah.
just a
And it's
dog.
like, no, he's just a dog, and
He's
he's the
just a
only
dog.
person who's benefiting from this dynamic is him.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
For me, it would probably be like that limbo period after me and Dylan's dad first broke up when I was still fucking him. That was a huge fuck up because it created even though we were broken up and I was fully done with him, because I would still sleep with him occasionally, it created like that thing where he thinks like he owns me. And I think he thought that he had a right to ask certain questions that he didn't, and that his feelings would be royally hurt when he would ask questions that I don't have to answer, and I would be like,
Yeah.
no. And in the moment, like you, I felt a satisfaction in knowing that, like, yeah, I've been with you for the last X amount of years, but you don't get to ask me that. And I literally would say that to you, you don't get to ask me that. And it was something I enjoyed about kind of like, biting at him like that.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, yeah, you may have had a slick mouth and been a bitch to him while still giving him some coochie, but you made your own life miserable. Like,
Yeah.
because no matter what, yes, while that may be true, I didn't owe him any answers and I never gave those answers. He still felt like he had a right to ask those questions because those lines were blurred.
Yeah.
And like even like when I stopped sleeping with him, I still let him stay with me for a while when I wasn't involved with him sexually. And I think he eventually started to like get the message, but then of course I just had to like, we obviously just had to completely like sever ties and he moved out or whatever. But I think my biggest fuck up would probably be that too, like just me taking too long to unblur that line.
Yeah. So is there anything, not necessarily like deeply regret, but is there anything like looking back at your life, decisions that you made, maybe paths that you chose that you don't wonder like what would have happened if you did the opposite thing? Or like if you had made a different choice?
Sometimes I wonder what my life would have looked like if I never like switched my major in college. Because I went to college initially for psychology. And then I eventually switched to like hospitality and tourism management. And I find myself wondering, like, because I'm realizing that everything I do outside of work is still related to like human behavior and things such as that. Like, but I've just taken an alternative route, like with astrology and everything. But I find myself wondering, like, what if I never switched my major? And what if I never dropped out of school? Because I think I want to believe I dropped out of school very close to graduation, and that's another story for another day. But I find myself wondering what would have happened if I didn't do that, so yeah, yeah, that would be the question. That would be it.
I almost wish like I knew what happens when you pass away, because I feel like if God had a big like computer screener and he's just like, can you show me what would have happened if I had choose this path, and they just like show you a whole, like, that would be cool if I could just see.
Yeah, but I find myself like and this might be something my delusional ass to do to kind of cope, or but I believe that what's meant for you will never pass you by. That's what I genuinely believe.
I don't sometimes run through the whole process. Like, I don't be like, what if I had moved here to be with this person sooner? Then this person would have probably cheated. I would have been miserable. I would have ended up by myself. Or I would have been pregnant, and I would have a baby for somebody who don't really want. Like I don't walk down.
Yeah, you have to walk down and
based on
look
who
at
this person is. What would you think would have happened?
And then you also factor in like that actual trajectory, like based on what this person has already proven to me, or what this situation has already proven to me. Where would I be? I probably would be massively in debt, like more than I already am. Because a bachelor's in psychology ain't really hitting on nothing, right?
Yes.
Probably gonna have to go straight for that master. It's probably gonna. So it would, and then also I'm actually grateful for alternate or the alternative route that I took because I'm not a very dogmatic person. I don't want to just like I like to solve a problem in many ways.
Mm,
I like to understand things in many ways. And I feel like if I hadn't switched my major, then I would really only want to focus on science and psychology. And I would probably never um figure out other like things that kind of are more suitable for everybody, right? Y'all know one of my biggest beliefs is that a lot of these psychological practices or these psychological concepts were just co-opted from like spiritual practices from around the world.
but I also think there's a part of yourself that you discovered in the different practices that you chose that you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have acknowledged, like
Hadn't
that part of
exactly.
you, you know?
Exactly. That's what I believe. I believe that if I stayed in psychology and I pursued it in that way, I would only look at that way. And I
Mm,
might even find myself possibly like losing faith in even that, and then being like lost out here with no hope. So I'm grateful for all my detours, if you will. That's why I don't
yeah,
call them my detours. I'm grateful for them.
yeah. I I think one thing that I would go back and probably do differently is I would have come out sooner. Um, I think that would have
Mm,
changed my life completely. Like,
hmm
obviously, I love the life I have now. I love the person I'm married to. But I think that fear that kept me from being all of who I am,
hmm
I would have been like, y'all ain't not serious. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
people are a little weird about you being bisexual or whatever. Like, you would have had to deal with a lot, but it won't have been the worst. Like, I would have
Yeah.
found a way to navigate it. And I think the thought in high school of anybody thinking that I liked girls was, I would just like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh
And I
wow.
waited
Yeah.
a really, like, I waited until I was damn
You
near
were
engaged.
grown.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was like the year before I get engaged to my husband that I
hmm
was like, you know what? I'm comfortable. Like, this is a part
hmm
of who I am. I'm okay talking about it. But I wish I did it sooner.
hmm
And not even just like, oh, because I wanted to be able to date girls and do all of this, but it's similar to what I just tell you. Like, that is a part of myself that
Yeah.
I feel like I kept
Mm.
closeted essentially for a really long time when I probably could have been like experiencing things that people experience in the queer community a lot sooner
Mm.
and like
Mm.
experiencing the community I have now, but at a younger age when I actually needed it. Um,
Yeah, that's valid.
yeah. So I think I would have go back to teenage years and be like, girl, you like girls. You like girls. It's okay. Like
I'm
nobody gonna
screaming.
beat your ass. Just don't tell your mother.
Yeah, no,
But you like girls.
yeah, except for Maria, but
Yeah.
she's still responsible for you, so whatever. But nobody ain't gonna beat your ass.
Yeah,
The fuck?
I think my mother would have found a way to be okay with it, honestly.
You think
Maybe
so?
it would have been hard. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. But I want to believe maybe she would have, but
Well, you
yeah.
out now. That's what matters.
Yeah. So how do we deal with regret? Like if somebody is experiencing deep regret, like they cannot get past this fuck up that they make or this the wrong choice or they're being responsible for something, like how do you forgive yourself for fucking up when you do fuck up, even in small ways?
I'll be honest. I think it's a mindset thing.
Mm,
I think because the thing is if you're an if you're an unforgiving person, you're also not going to be forgiving toward yourself. But even aside from that, I just feel like and everybody's different, but for me, it really just comes down to even though I regret this thing and I wish it didn't happen, it already happened. So these feelings I have are not going to change the fact that this thing happened. How can I learn from this? What can I do so I don't repeat this dumb shit? Or what can I do to move forward? And if there's nothing I can do, then I'm just gonna have to take my L and leave. Like I'm just gonna have to take my L and be okay with the fact that like the reminders that hey, I'm human and humans are not perfect. We're not perfect. So we're either gonna sometimes we're gonna fuck up. And this is a fuck up that I wish didn't happen, but it happened. So let's move on. But I think that takes a certain muscle that a lot of people don't ever work. And I think that we just spend too much time focused on the past. I feel like nobody's really in the present. A lot of us are spending a lot of time on the past and the future, but not the present. And I think if we spent more time grounded in like this present moment, like in this present, let's use an example of somebody who's feeling shame, right? And shitty because of a bad decision they made. In this moment, like, okay, back there, I did this thing. I regret it. I feel so shitty. In this moment, you feel shitty. Your nervous system is experiencing that. Your whole body is experiencing the negative feelings that are coming from something that has already happened. If this thing that's already happened, if there's anything that can be changed and the changes for the positive so that, you have some semblance of a brighter future, then do what you need to do to take action, right? But again, if it can't be changed, why are you hotting up your head? You literally traumatizing yourself for no reason. Like,
And also
admit,
sometimes when you feel shame around fucking up, like while pausing, like you feel that embarrassment that like somebody else witnessed your fuck up or was a part of your fuck up. Sometimes that person ain't thinking about that fuck up as much as you
a
are.
lot of time people have no idea what you got. Listen, every single body walking this earth is the main character in their movie. They don't know what you got going on and they don't really care. They're busy with their own shit. Okay? Like a lot of times, and that's the real tea. A lot of us be so embarrassed and ashamed because of we be thinking it's about us, but we're really just so afraid of what other people think about us. And half of those people don't know who you are and don't give a damn who you are. Don't hot up your heart space.
No, honestly. So I had a friend
Mhm.
who the last time I saw them, we lived in the same city and
Mhm.
we went somewhere to get something for my sister. It was like before Christmas. And he had a road rage moment
Oh my
and
God.
this car like cut he off and he started driving fast because he was like upset, right? And the car in front of him ended up stopping suddenly.
Yeah.
And he tried to stop, but because of the kind of car he had, his wheels lock and the car slide forward, and we end up
What?
rear-ending this car. And it
Oh
wasn't like
shit.
I mean, the front of his car get fucked up, right? But it
Mhm.
wasn't like a major accident or anything. But he knew my history with car
Oh, with
accidents.
car
And I had been,
accidents.
when he started to drive fast, I was like, dude, relax. Like, it's okay. Like, can you relax? Like, calm down. And he didn't listen to me because he's a man. And I remember the minute the accident happened, the first thing he do was turn and watch me like, damn, I fuck up. It happened. He was like, hey, I don't want you to have to stand here and like wait for all of this. Like, I gonna call you a Uber. Like, we gonna, get you back to your sister house or whatever. I went back home. He called me later that night. He was like, hey, how are you feeling? I had a little bit of whiplash because the car had, like, it had not hard. Like, I had a little bit. I was like, no, I
Mhm.
think I got a little bit of, like, I have a headache, but like, I good. Like, we
Mhm.
good. And he was like, are you mad at me or anything? I said, no, I cool. I was pissed, but
I
I
wish you
couldn't.
had draggy.
No, I was mad, but I couldn't. I feel like if I had like drag he and go off, like his car is destroyed. He learned he lesson. What is it going to
Mhm.
do if I just like you trigger my PTSD and then it like I was like, I know how to manage my trigger. I good, but he could have tell like I didn't sound the same, right? This is a person
Yeah.
who usually I like kicking with a lot of shit. And he started to distance himself after that, right?
Mhm.
He communication got less and less frequent. And then it ultimately got to the point where this person essentially ghosted me. Just
Wow.
no communication whatsoever. So years later, we end up reconnecting. I had done move out of the state and that kind of shit. And I
Yeah.
remember saying, like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like, you
Mhm.
just you just ghost me after that happened. And I was like, I was worried about you. Like, I was like, are you
Yeah.
okay? And he was like, I felt so ashamed of what happened. I felt so much shame every time I would think about talking to you. I used to get embarrassed. And he's like, I couldn't communicate with you. And I was like, that's fucking crazy because my only thought was, did you get your car fixed? Are you good? Your
Yeah.
birthday coming up. Like, I was over it. I was done.
Yeah.
My mind wasn't even on the situation anymore. I wasn't mad at you. So he in his head built up this whole scenario where I thought he was the scum of the fucking earth.
Oh my God. Because
And
that's what he felt.
because he felt
He
shame.
felt that way about himself.
So he allowed that shame to basically pilot our relationship and determine like how it was going to go going forward, which is fucked up because I feel like I miss out on somebody who was once my really good friend.
Yeah, some important milestones.
Yeah, because he was dealing with shame. So I wanted to bring that story up because it's like sometimes we don't conflate these things in our head because we're feeling shame, and we don't allow that to determine how we navigate relationships when people like nobody tripping that hard. And if they tripping that hard, they can't give you grace.
Yeah,
come on,
that's
like,
valid. That's so damn. I'm glad y'all are back in touch, but
yeah, I mean, we cool with a talk every now and then, but I don't think it will ever be the same because I'm like, dog, you ghost me for a year, and then my grandmother died that same year, so I was just like,
oh man, I remember
I had a rough
the year
year.
your grandmother died.
Yeah,
that
so
was a lot.
that year has sucked. So I was just like, of all years, we could have get past the accident thing, but why I can't get past now is the fact that like you just like,
ghosted
me, and then I had the worst year of my life. So anyway, in terms of regret and like dealing with regret and dealing with shame, for me, something that helps me is that when I make a mistake, I talk to myself like I talk into my child self or my teenage self.
I don't do that too.
Yeah, and I'll be like, it's okay, hey Isa, you fucked up. Nobody gonna beat your ass. Like
nobody ain't gonna beat you. No, legit. Mistake. I'm glad you brought that up because that has been such a big help to me. Like, yeah. And I feel like we should all be doing that. And you know, we've done the reparenting episode, like we've talked about that, but just talk yourself through whatever you're going through the way you would talk to a little child and watch you see like such a difference, such an improvement. When's the last time you spoke to your inner child?
Oh my God, me and Dr. Sheena, why is she probably vexed? I think something similar though, where I started to feel a little triggered. Something happened at work where I went into that, oh my God, everybody hate me, nobody like me, da, 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 da. I was like, yeah, you're okay. You're safe. Nobody yelling at you. Nobody telling you suck. Like, you're okay. I was like, and because I walk in on like I'm learning somatic practice. So like I literally went home, I sit on the bed, I do my little like compression, like hugging yourself, by the way. Is so good for your body because it'll kind of like bring you back to center. So something I'm learning is like doing that hugging motion, but then like pressing inward and kind of picturing in your head that you're putting your body back together. Like whatever just have you in shambles or like disheveled, picturing the incident, like breaking your body apart and then like pulling your body back together. Like I'm safe. Dope. I good. Yeah. So that's the last time I remember being like, okay, here's you good. You safe, nothing happening, nobody yell at you, nobody mad at you, like you cool. Yeah. Shit like that is what you have to do when you feeling regret, because sometimes you'll be like, damn, I fuck up, damn, I make this mistake, damn, I'm the worst person. Exactly. And you'll just be like, did somebody say that to you?
Nobody said it to you. You over here saying it to your damn self, making shit up.
Tripping.
Making shit up in your head.
And what'll happen when you assume my father was this fuck?
Oh, you don't make an ass. I was like, you and me.
You and me. I'll be like, Daddy, shut up.
Bye.
But he right. Listen, but anyway, I wanted to make sure we talk about that because I think it's important in your healing process. Like shit gonna come up. You're gonna be healing, you're gonna bring up things that you maybe haven't talked about in a while, and some of those things are gonna bring up shame, and some of those things are gonna bring up regret. You're gonna start reflecting on mistakes, and the worst thing you could do is harbor like or just sit on that resentment or that regret and focus on it, because then you're not healing.
And you're ruminating, and it's just all festering and nothing's coming from it. It's not productive at all. And then what do you have to show for it?
Exactly. How does that help you? How you gonna be good up and feeling shame? Also, if I could come on this podcast and admit that embarrassing shit, then I need to be able to own your shit. You'll be fine.
Honestly.
And if you went junior high with me, shut up. Don't shut up. Don't say
I wondered about that. I
mean, a lot of people went junior high with me, so they're gonna just be like, damn,
that's what it is.
Well, I shouldn't have been out here calling me fat and embarrassing me in front of other people. Maybe I would like myself more. So ask yourself what your part was to play in that shit, bitch. It's been a great season though. We're gonna wrap it up here. I can't believe it went that fast. Again, Saturday, about to be lit.
So lit. Like, first of all, season 10. Like,
Yeah.
who are these girls?
Who are these?
Shout out to our sponsors. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys for
Mhm.
everything that you guys have contributed. Without our sponsors, this live show wouldn't happen, specifically the Virgin Islands Lottery.
Yeah.
Without our other sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do things like did y'all know we have to pay to upload this podcast to the internet? Okay, I don't think y'all know that.
Yeah, it costs money to run this. So thank you so much to Blend Collective. Thank you to Greater Changes. Thank you to Empath Psychological Services. Dr. Batiste, we love you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Dr. Batiste. Thank you to our amazing patrons.
Mhm.
The ones that have been riding with us from the time we created a Patreon, and those who are new, who joined during this season. Whenever you joined, we appreciate you. We cannot wait to see whoever's coming to the live event. Make sure your outfit good up, because one thing, I gonna look good. If I
And we
posing
taking
next to
pictures.
I was just about to say, if y'all gonna be posing next to me in pictures, y'all need to look good. Okay.
Professional photographer and thing.
Okay. Hello.
We
Fuck
love
outta
you
here.
about it. We cannot wait to see you. Again, shout out to the patrons, dog. Like, we've gotten so many new patrons this season, ain't even fucking funny. Like, I feel special bad.
Y'all.
And
Yeah,
I'm
so
thinking of
special,
some
so
summer
special.
content to keep you guys engaged and entertained even while we're on break. So if you feel like you're gonna miss good up bad, the conversation gonna still keep going on Patreon. You better join the Discord gang, because we gonna have some movie nights over the summer. We gonna stream movies on Discord.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's
Should we have
fun.
like a Bridgerton chat? Oh. House of the Dragon.
We should have a House of the Dragon chat too. Yeah.
Because you know I'm so
okay. And if you don't want to miss out on a fuck, join the Patreon.
Yeah. And this is why we need a break. Because let me tell you, Hey Isa and I both work a full-time job. I also have an entire 10-year-old that I have to feed and take care of. And he don't go to his daddy house on the weekends. I take care of this little motherfucker all the time. We obviously have this live event. We got things going on. And so we needing our breaks. Because baby, this break gonna come and I'm a binge watch Bridgerton. I can't wait for House of the Dragon to come on. Like, we got things to do.
Social media break. It gets some new books coming out this summer. I'm so excited about. The reading girl is gonna be reading.
Exactly.
I'm about to get back in the gym finally. I am committing myself that while I take the social media break, I am pouring into my body. It is time.
Yes. Take care of yourself.
I keep having dreams about fighting slow. I scared.
What is with the fight? Have you tried to interpret those dreams?
I think stress at work. I think that I'm pushing against a lot at work, and I constantly feel like I'm battling at work. So it coming up in my dreams. But the point is, what I start walking, real, I need to square up, and I need to have the strength to do it. So we get
go to the gym, go punch some bags, girl.
I found me a gym with a sauna. I never been in a sauna, but I want to.
You're gonna
I want to understand what sauna does.
Yeah. It helps to relax your muscles, and it helps to like detoxify your body and stuff. It's really helpful after a workout. Listen, I've been needing my sauna. I'm like, I need a sauna, I need a steam room. Girl, I was in the fucking hot tub yesterday at the gym.
I don't blame you. So nice. But yeah, it's hot girl summer. After the go up show, I'm going to see my wife, Megan.
I'm so jealous.
The motherfucking stallion. And I'm gonna be close enough to where she shake her banner. I go see it.
Really? That's what's up.
Me gonna be on the floor, but the seat's good.
The seat's good.
Yeah, I can't do floor seats. Bitches get bad back, man.
I don't like to harass people for content when they go to these shows. Like, I believe in living in the moment. But if you find it in your heart to record some footage,
we 3x zooming it, and
I'm screaming.
You gain good footage. Okay, I might vlog the whole experience because.
No, be present in the moment. Find a balance. Don't look at that concert from the camera.
I mean, I gonna have fun by definitely getting some footage. Same way I do for Beyonce. Because sometimes I look back at the Beyonce footage and ain't even she singing. It's me and Diamond screaming in the background that'll give me life. Like, we don't just be in our shit.
So I'm very much in the moment, girl. My phone to be put away. Like, you're lucky if you get anything out of me. But
I don't get like one or two.
But then I wish I took more.
You know, they said that the dress code for Megan Thee Stallion Hot Girl Summer Tour is either cosplay cheeks or cosplay with cheeks. So I've chosen cosplay with cheeks. Me gonna tell you who I cosplaying until the day of the concert. You know, deep down, I'm a nerd. My man is a nerd.
That's cute.
Accents. I showing up for them. So it's gonna be fun.
You're gonna have a good time. It's well deserved. This is my first summer in Atlanta, so I'm looking forward to. What?
I need to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, because I don't really have anything like. I don't.
I was thinking that we could create a good up summer bucket list. and we could come up with like easy and affordable things to do for people who like don't want to have a fun summer but don't really know what to do.
Oh, I like that.
And we should come up with a good up summer bucket list and share it on social media. And
yeah, let's do it.
If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. It's just some ideas.
I think it'll be fun. And we'll contribute some things. Listen, it's gonna be some raggedy things on there too. What's the name of that game where you stop at the traffic light and everybody has to run around the car?
Chinese fire drill, which I think is racist.
Wait. We're gonna name it Good Up Fire Drill.
Good Up Fire Drill. It's not called a Chinese fire drill, but that's what I was told it's called. But
why is it called that?
I don't know. Somebody come up with a racist shit, but
that's so racist. But yeah, so we'll play a little game of that. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yay! Okay.
Hey, Isa, thank you for another amazing season. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for the amount of work Hey Isa to do on this show, like that I will never be able or willing to do. Let's be clear. Like I'm never gonna pretend to be able to do the kind of shit Hey Isa to do for this show.
Listen, you know what? Why I was saying earlier about that whole third whole shit. If we expand the team, it's gonna be for assistant. Cause
I was just about to tell you that, so I was literally just about to say we already manifested the kind of sponsorships we have. We already manifested a live event. We need to manifest like help. Like we need to manifest.
We need help.
Either somebody to either edit the episodes or manage the social media. I don't know, but we need to outsource. It's time for us to start outsourcing stuff.
If somebody could edit the episodes, then I could handle the social media, and like I love doing that. So if you're listening and you're an editor and you're good, don't fucking play with me because I like quality. If you're an editor and you're good and you would like to either sponsor your services or you get rates you want to share with me, like hit me up. Yeah. Even better if you're a Black woman.
Especially if you're a Black woman. Okay. But yeah, it's time for us to start looking in that direction to outsource certain things. And so
all right. We love everybody. And
we love y'all.
For the last time this season, Deidre, tell the people and bye.
Bye.
The Good Up Podcast is sponsored by the Virgin Islands Lottery. This podcast is Virgin Islands hosted and produced by Deidre Ritter and Hey Isa Quinones Ivory. Follow us on all social media platforms at Good Up Pod. Join the VIP section over at patreon.com/gooduppodcast and get access to exclusive bonus content, or visit our website and read more about our episodes at goodupvi.com. This season of the Good Up Podcast is proud to be sponsored by Empath Psychological Services, The Blend Collective, and Greater Changes.